All right, welcome back. Now, I've dealt with Cesar several times since I've been on the internet. And a lot of times when I respond to Cesar content, I like to remind the dog culture critics that all of these dog lovers are the same. No matter how much publicity they've gotten, no matter how large or small their following, no matter how famous they are, all dog lovers have the same nonsensical babble. All of them. The only difference between them is how they present the nutter babble, the nuttery. Their delivery. That's the only thing that's different. How they relay the nutter babble to you. Now, let's listen to Cesar trying to explain how you can train a dog to not be aggressive, to not be violent, to not be the bloodthirsty, violence-obsessed mutants that they naturally are. Listen to this.
You can prevent anything that you don't want with the same formula: exercise, mental stimulation, and affection to the right actions, to the right energy, to the right mind. So then the dog knows.
Affection to the right energy. Affection to the right mind. Okay, now for a lot of people, he's babbling already. Trying to use this goofy magical talk, which is something a lot of nutters try to do. They try to act like dogs are too sophisticated for us to understand, and that they themselves have a deeper understanding of how dogs think than the rest of us. So they're like, project themselves as the mediator between the deranged mutant brains of dogs and the normal evolved brains of human beings, okay? But I need y'all to pay attention to what he just said. He said you can prevent anything. Listen to this.
You can prevent anything that you don't want.
He's talking about aggression.
With the same formula: exercise, mental stimulation, and affection to the right actions, to the right energy, to the right mind. So then the dog knows, that if he behaves calm and respectful to a child, he's going to receive affection in a form of food, water, of course, you love.
So the same nutter babble that we've heard over and over again. When a child comes around, give the dog a treat. Oh, a child walks into the room, find a Scooby snack to give to the dog. Hurry up, quick, 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 so that it associates the presence of a child with food. That's all he's saying. More pathetic nutter babble. Because the dog may very well launch the attack before you pull out the food. It may very well launch the attack after it eats the food. Yeah, you might give it something to eat, but then after that food's gone, it will proceed to launch the attack like it was about to do before you gave it the treat. What happens when the owner does not have food to give to the dog? Huh? What happens when the dog sees the child, but the adult doesn't see the child? This is a stupid method that has grown legs among nutters that would only work in certain very few scenarios. And it's not a permanent fix. Y'all are just talking about something that might work sporadically in the moment, temporarily. Because again, after that mutt eats this food, there's no guarantee it won't then launch the attack. It's not launching the attack because it's hungry anyways. It's doing it because it's a deranged, violent, obsessed mutant. Do not try to act like a professional, like you got knowledge over a mutated, deformed brain like dogs have. But Cesar tries, and that's why he, cuts his throat. Most people don't catch it because most people listen to him as nutters.
Going to receive affection in a form of food, water, of course, you love, toys, all of that stuff. So every single problem with a dog can get cured the same.
No, shut up, Cesar. You sound like a lunatic. What if a child comes into the room and you don't have any food? The dog looks around for food, there is none. Then the dog gets frustrated because there's no food. Now there's probably an increased likelihood that it launches the attack because it's frustrated. The food that's usually there when it sees a youngster is now not there. So now there's really nothing to do except launch this attack that it had the instinct to launch when it first saw the child. And let's talk about this instinct. It's a bloodthirst instinct where they want to attack on sight. It does not matter if the dog actually puts thought into it or not. And with that in mind, listen to the rest of what he has to say.
Way or heal or rehabilitate.
Let's back it up. Same old nutter babble. Give the dog a treat when a kid comes around. How come that ain't work? Y'all been saying that for decades. But yet, the attacks on the youngsters continue to go up. Because it ain't nothing but nutter babble.
Going to receive affection in a form of food, water, of course, you love, toys, all of that stuff. So every single problem with a dog can get cured the same way or heal or rehabilitated the same way. Exercise, discipline, affection. Because when a dog...
He said exercise, discipline, affection. But the first time he said exercise, mental stimulation, and reward, affection. See how he changed his babble up just then? Like a little con artist.
Of course, you love, toys, all of that stuff. So
look,
mental stimulation and
affection. You hear that?
You can prevent anything that you don't want with the same formula. Exercise, mental stimulation, and affection to the...
Exercise, mental stimulation, and affection to energy. Then he said exercise, discipline. Make up your mind, Cesar. Are you referring to discipline as mental stimulation? Anything is mental stimulation for the most part. As soon as you open your eyes, your brain is stimulated by wherever you're looking at. Oh, the nutter babble. Do y'all know why he's saying exercise? How many of you are aware of what he's talking about when he says exercise? He's saying that you need to keep your dog tired. Any of you who follow Cesar, you know one of his tactics that he suggests is to keep your dog tired, because if it's tired all the time, it won't feel like attacking anybody. Right? We've heard that before. But he is very committed to that. You could see it right here. This is from him. He says, exercise, one of my top tips to give to clients. What does that say? A tired dog is not going to give you any problem. You know how pathetic that is, Cesar, where you sitting up saying, oh, well, just make sure it's tired all the time. You know how tired that would make you? You're supposed to exercise, okay, regardless of how old you are. You could be 60, 70 years old, and you're supposed to go walking and running and exercise this dog as if you some 20-year-old athlete to keep it tired. You know how much exercise you need to keep dogs tired all the time? And you can't control that anyways. There's no way possible for you to make sure that every minute that it's inside the home that it's tired. In fact, when you plan on taking it out to exercise it, it's because you've seen that it's not tired, which means that could have been in the form of an attack. Oh, it launched an attack. Oh, it must be energized and not tired. Well, it's too late, Cesar. Nutter Babble. This is con artist type stuff. Now he's going to watch an attack go down. And he's going to try to give the right solution, the right advice on how to prevent something like this from happening. And keep in mind, it's not an old video. He uploaded this 4 days ago.
Of course, you love toys, all of that stuff. So every single problem with a dog.
Understand, this back and forth with Cesar is a modern, it's happening right now. This ain't no old, tired philosophy that he shared 8-10 years ago. Now, he said this a few days ago.
Can get cured the same way or heal or rehabilitated the same way. Exercise, discipline, affection. Because when a dog receives what he needs, he's happy, he's healthy, he's loving, and his mind is like, this is the...
Shut up, man. He's happy, loving. Lord, more babble. How do you quantify if a dog is happy? Dogs go from so-called playing to launching a real attack in a split second. I don't think happy applies to them. They just may not be attacking anyone at the moment. That's as far as I go with it. But loving, it's proven these things can't love. More lies, more babble, more untruths, more cons. That's what it sounds like to me.
I live with a human that knows natural, simple, profound.
No, dogs don't think like that. He's trying to speak as the dog. He's saying that this is what the dog thinks to itself. No, they don't. That's a big part of y'all's con, to convince dog lovers that dogs have the same train of thought as humans. Some of these nutters actually believe that dogs talk to themselves in using English. These con artists, they know they're dealing with a slow demographic.
The smartest thing to do, right? My life is great. I live with a human that knows natural, simple, profound. And so that's how you prevent it. You know, that's why I'm always going to keep saying it's not the dog. There is no knowledge behind instinct. It's all reaction.
It's not the dog's fault. There's no knowledge behind instinct. It's all reaction. Who cares? What difference does it make, Cesar? Let's just say you're right. Let's say it's instinct for it to launch these random unprovoked attacks. What difference does it make? And yes, it is the dog's fault. It doesn't matter whether or not the dog puts thought into the attack. The problem is that it's launching the attack. Who cares about what it thinks or why it decided to? Why are you even talking about that? That's not important. And no thought behind instinct. It's all reaction. Reacting to what? The presence of a vulnerable, weak, defenseless organism. That's what. So it's not a reaction at all. These are not reactions. And understand, these so-called professionals, they project all dog attacks as the dog reacting. In other words, being the victim. When all that happens is a youngster walks in the room, the dog sees and attacks. Yeah, they even call that reaction. That's reactive in their minds too. Oh, the presence of the child startled the dog, upset the dog with its presence. So the dog couldn't help but react. Dog worshiping babble. Nutter babble.
Not the dog. There is no knowledge behind instinct.
Oh, not the dog's fault. It is deranged, deformed brain having mutant, launching random lethal unprovoked attacks You want to lecture me about how it's not that creature's fault? You deserve to be smacked. Let's be honest. If nobody's ever had an experience like this, it's the first time you've seen a dog, this beast attacks you for no reason. Some joker pops out of the corner and says, hey, it's not the dog's fault. It's not the creature's fault. You deserve to be backhand in a moment like that. That phrase is irrelevant. It's worthless. It has no meaning at all. It's not the dog's fault. Yes, it is. Anybody with a brain that attacks me, it's its fault. What are you talking about? Oh, well, no, it has a deformed brain. Not my problem. It's your fault because you got a deformed brain. What are you talking about? And they also say this as if to suggest that you don't need to remove these creatures from the general public. That's what they sort of imply. That it would be wrong to remove this creature from the general public because it's not aware of it. No, that don't work either. And yes, you do remove it. What are you talking about? How's that supposed to keep people safe? Oh, keep it in society because it's not aware. It's not putting in this. What are you talking about? Nutter babble. Cesar is just as delusional as any hole in the wall dog expert you might find right here on YouTube.
Dog reaction. You can't blame the dog, but you can learn a lot of things from a dog.
Yeah, you'll learn what a degenerate, savage, primitive mutant. You'll learn how a mutant behaves. That's about it. You get a good lesson on what deranged, deformed brains do to an organism. Now, I can't show the mauling, even though Cesar does. He doesn't edit this. But it's Cesar. It's not IHD. I get a strike for showing this. He won't. So let's skip this and just take my word for it. The large dog starts mauling the small dog. The neighbor across here jumps on top of the dog. After a while, they're able to get the small dog out of the jaws of the large dog. Now let's hear what Cesar has to say about what he just watched.
Well, this is unfortunate because what people normally is going to keep in their mind is a big dog attacking a little dog, and so that's going to affect the belief system in people, because the truth is
it what? It's going to affect the belief system in people. Okay, the people who believe dogs are angels, yeah, that would change their perspective. I agree with that. But where are you going with this, buddy? It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. You're getting red flags already. Okay, let's finish. All right, Cesar.
Because the truth is, when we humans don't do our homework, right? Because it's a homework, it's a commitment, it's a responsibility,
Yeah. When we don't do our homework, we don't see the signs. We don't give the dog treats when a small dog shows up. Right? The same type of tactic is advised for small dogs. Anything that the dog wants to attack, they're telling you to give the dog food whenever that thing is around. That's the homework he's talking about. No, Cesar. No. Ain't nobody gonna you be feeding that dog all day, every day. They attack everything living. What you talking about? That ain't no solution. You sound like a lunatic. Just like all the other nutter babbles. Okay, he's giving his sermon. Let's listen.
It requires understanding, right? That you're committed to an animal. It doesn't matter, if it's a butterfly.
Don't do that.
It's a tarantula.
Don't do that. Stop it. Don't compare dogs with other animals. You got any other animal as a pet, you don't have to worry about this going down. Don't start comparing dogs to other pets. Boy, I'm telling you, already he's discrediting himself as a professional. I would kick him out of the room at this point. He's proven to be ignorant, to push lies and untruths. But hey, maybe some of y'all convinced.
It's a tarantula, it's, a chameleon. In this case, it's a dog, and the pit bull breed, which we love all breeds here, and we rehabilitate all breeds. And so we will never.
Oh, disgusting. Wow. They put lipstick on a pig. You own a chameleon. You own a hamster. Do you think you're going to have to worry about it launching a deadly attack on somebody else's pet? What are you talking about, Cesar? You don't have to put these other pets through training just to make sure they don't launch random, unprovoked attacks on people and animals. You only got to do that with dogs. But you're also trying to tell us that dogs are the same as all the other animals? You want us to believe that? You're supposed to be a professional, one of the top professionals in the world, and you trying to get us to believe that?
Rehabilitate all breeds, and so we will never blame the breed. But unfortunately, situations like this, where you see aggression, where you see a violent moment, especially around children, it's like, oh God, that's the worst part. The kid did amazing. The kid tried to protect the dog. It's definitely going to help him a little bit on his protective self. But definitely it can also...
You can't prevent stuff like this, Cesar. Just say it. You have been found guilty of your dogs attacking other people's dogs. You've been attacked by dogs. You don't control their brain. You can't prevent it. Why don't you just say it? Be honest. They can't say it because their career is based on saying anything other than the truth. Simple as that.
Traumatize them and not for a long time, hopefully, but it can traumatize them. But I hope this kid watches this episode, this show, or this moment. I'm sorry, I thought.
Yeah, you're veering off subject, trying to get people to forget the question. How are you supposed to prevent stuff like what we just saw?
Doing a TV show, but I hope this kid that was
this is not about the kid's recovery. What are you talking about?
Protecting his dog, know that you did incredible. That you did what you could, and definitely it's not your fault.
Okay, it's not the dog's fault. It's not the owner's. Whose fault is it? Make us understand this now. It's not the dog's fault, according to you. It's not the owner's fault, according to you. Okay, Cesar. All right.
The reason why I'm here is to remind people, the grown-ups, that when they have a dog, there is a responsibility behind. And that responsibility is to make sure that our dogs are tired, that our dogs understand the rules, bounds, and limitations.
Make sure they're tired. You know you're dealing with the most violent creature on the earth when they're telling you to make sure they're tired all the time. Too tired to launch an attack? That is insane advice. That's insane. Why would you want a tired pet? You should want your pet to have energy. But when a dog has energy, that's considered dangerous, even by their own professionals. That's why they were talking about how dangerous it is to feed stray dogs. People caught feeding stray dogs, they were punished over there in India. How insane is that? That just proves how much of a dangerous, bloodthirsty beast dogs actually are. You got to keep them exhausted all the time, on drugs all the time, distracted all the time. That's all it is. Distract them from launching an attack. No, that don't work, nutter.
That our dogs understand to project love and to do smart.
Wow. Dogs understand to project love. Do y'all think a dog could ever understand that? Love is not even an old phenomenon among humans. The whole concept of love started around the late 1800s. Nobody married for love before that time. It was a business deal, a cultural transaction. Nothing to do with no funny feeling in your stomach. That's a new phenomenon that people basing marriage on, which is why marriages are failing. And this thing don't even know how to project love. What are you talking about? Make sure it knows how to project love. Giving you impossible advice.
Things just like we humans have to learn, right? We have to learn to be good humans. We have to learn to be responsible human. We have to learn to be loving human.
We know good from evil. We can feel guilt after we do somebody wrong or harm someone, launch an unprovoked attack. And that prevents us from launching these attacks in the first place. The fact that we can feel guilt and we understand. Don't compare dogs to us. We don't have to learn to be good. What are you talking about? We don't come out of the womb and turn 1, 2, 3 years old attacking people. Boy, this man is insane. You really want to put our brains on the same level as a dog's?
And smart humans. So that's exactly what I teach people.
No, we actually have to learn to be evil. That's what we have to learn. We learn to be hostile, bloodthirsty. That's what we learn. That comes natural for dogs. What are you talking about? All right, top professional, dog lover. This y'all's top professional right here. You better get behind him.
To have a dog that is a good dog, because that's their spirit. The spirit wants to do good. Instincts.
What is this dude talking about? He's gone off on a tangent now, talking about the spiritual realm. Dude, we talking about dogs and how to prevent what we just watched, what you just showed on your show that you're not even talking about no more because you know you don't have no answer. You know full well there's no way to stop stuff like that. You just better hope your dog don't attack a smaller dog or somebody's youngster. That's the true answer.
We have to learn to be responsible human. We have to learn to be loving human and smart human. So that's exactly what I teach people, to have a dog that is a good dog, because that's their spirit. The spirit wants to do good. Instincts, they only want to do the right thing. And love can only do good.
Instincts, they only want to do the right thing. What? Did he just explain that when you act on instinct, there's no thought put into it? Now he's saying it's instinct. With instinct, you only want to do the right thing. The dog just wants to do the right thing. That's what instinct's all about. Cesar, okay, let's hear that again. This is the king of Babble. That's what got him to be so famous. It's because he do a lot of extravagant, sophisticated babbling. He does good at babbling and not sharing facts and truth.
To project love and to do smart things, just like we humans have to learn, right? We have to learn to be good humans. We have to learn to be responsible human. We have to learn to be loving human and smart human. So that's exactly what I teach people, to have a dog that is a good dog, because that's their spirit. The spirit wants to do good. Instincts, they only want to do the right thing. And love can only do good. And of course, we always want to make sure that we use our mind for smart things. And so in this moment, to see violence, to see aggression, what we're seeing is the world still, the human still don't understand how to approach having a relationship with an animal. Natural, simple, profound.
Okay, did he explain how to stop this from happening? No, all he said was, it's your fault, you the human. It's your fault because you're not natural, spiritual. You're not making a good dog. That's basically what he's saying. Basically, any typical trailer trash babble. Did this happen because you are not a good person? Basically.
The world still, the human still don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand. That's why. Okay, so how do you prevent this from happening? Well, you have to understand. Well, you just have to understand. Understand what, Cesar?
How to approach having a relationship.
You have to understand how to approach.
With
how
an
to
animal.
have a loving relationship. Huh? How? Tell us how.
Understand how to approach having a relationship with an animal. Natural, simple, profound. Loyalty, leadership, love, life. Once
karate chop to the neck. Right? What is he talking about? The king of Babble. Love, life, relationship, water, air, butter. What are you talking about, man? Again, he uploaded this video 4 days ago. This is recent Cesar Babble.
The human still don't understand how to approach having a relationship with an animal. Natural, simple, profound. Loyalty, leadership, love, life. Once you have this formula, once you have these elements, your dog is going to behave the way we all dream. You know, so instead of...
Shut up. Like all the other animals. I don't use all these formulas you're talking about. And I walk past groups of animals all the time with no problem. It's only with dogs is it a problem. Don't tell me there's something I don't understand about having a relationship with animals, when my relationship is just fine with all the other animals. They're not bothering me. But when it comes to dogs, you're just ignorant. You don't. And he said animals. He said relationship with animals. You hear what he's saying?
This formula, once you have these elements, your dog is going to behave the way we all dream. You know, so instead of that fight, that will be a playtime. That will be explore time. That will be a follow time. Right?
Once you figure out the formula of love, life, happiness, food, water, shelter. Shut up, Cesar. From me to you, from my channel to yours, shut up. Do us that favor. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.